Welcome to the PowerClaim Estimator Overview Training. In this training session, you will learn how to set preferences, create claims, order and add Eagle View reports, create rooms, add line items, and more. To get started, you will need a username and password. If you do not have one, please contact our support staff. You will log in at PowerClaimEstimator.com. You will be then asked for your username and password. Once you log in, if you are asked to accept the license agreement, please do so. It will not let you go further until you do. You will then land on our home screen. Here you will see any previous claims that you've created. You can start new claims, copy claims, import claims, or delete claims. This is the home screen. As you can see, your logo will be at the top. To add a logo to Estimator, you must be a company admin. So if you have a user account only, your logo will not show unless your company admin sets that. So then you have your recent activities. This is what you've done lately. You can click on any of these and go directly to that claim. You can also start a new claim, assign a claim, delete a claim if you are an admin. Users cannot delete claims. That button will be grayed out if you are a user. You may copy a claim. You may import a claim. You can also choose what claims you see in your list here. So you can just do open claims, you can do closed claims, or all claims. You can also do a search. You can search by file number, claim number, insured, adjuster, or the status of the claim. Once you have chosen what you're looking for, you can just say insured, and you can type in a first name, last name, doesn't matter, and then just hit the search button, and it will come up and show you every insured with the last name Boykin. To go back, you just basically clear this section, and it'll take you back to all of your claims. You can also set your claims in ascending or descending order by file number, claim number, insured, adjusters, days open, or status. So the only thing you have to do is when you get to the header, you can click file number, and it will put them in one order, or you can hit file number again, and it will put them in the other order. Same with the rest of the headers. You can do that with any of those. You can also open claims from here. If you want to go into the claim setup screen, all you have to do is click the claim. If you want to go directly to the estimate, you can click the little EST icon, and it will take you directly to your coverages, your area screens, and also your line item screen. At the bottom, you will see there's numbers. These are page numbers, so the more claims you have, the more pages you're going to have. And then, of course, it will also show you the total amount of claims that you have currently. That's just a start for the home screen. Now, I want to show you how to set preferences. So if you're brand new to PowerClaim Estimator, you will need to go up to Contacts. You'll see you have a field here for what adjuster type, and you can set your adjusting company, agency, your carriers, your contractors, loss addresses, mortgage companies, anything you need to set here, you can do so. So as the adjuster, you would want to definitely make yourself the default adjuster. So with the adjuster chosen, you're going to come over and give it an entry name, or after you click New Contact. Then you can come over and you can click in the entry name, and you can name yourself anything you want to. And then you want to put in your company that you work for. and then of course your first name, and then you can fill out any other information that you might need here. So your contacts, you can do an office phone, you can do a cell phone, a pager, anything else that you would like to have. If you want to set a fax number, and then of course you can do your county, country, title. If you want to put your middle name or tax ID, or if you have a nickname, you can do that as well. And then of course you could use the company address if you would like to. So I'm going to type that in, and then we're going to go down to the city. We're going to pick our state, and then our zip code. And then if you'd like your email to show, you could do that as well. And then once you have the information here, you're just going to hit Save Contact. Now, as an admin, if you are an admin, if you want to share that with all of your users in your company, you can check the box here. If you're only a user, you would not even see this, and so you would just click Save Contact. Once you hit Save Contact, you'll see that that has been saved here in the left-hand column. Then if you want to go set up the adjusting company, you can do that as well. So again, hit Add New Contact. I'm going to go ahead and just call this HRI, and the company is going to be HRI Inc. Of course, we won't have a first name because this is a company, and I'm not going to finish filling out the rest of the information. You would know that you need to fill out, your address, city, state for that to show on the reports. So this Save Contact. Again, you can go up here and set any of the others that you would prefer or want to set. Once you have these in here, you just basically close this box, and then you would go up to Settings and set your claim preferences. So from here, as an admin, they can apply these settings to all users. If you're just a user, you would not see this specific line. You would just start out with Adjuster. From here, you can hit the drop down and choose the default adjuster that you want. So I'm going to choose that one. I'm going to set my company as HRI. I can set a specific carrier or contractor or mortgage company. However, these settings will apply to every claim you create, so I would not necessarily suggest doing that. You can set your coinsurance penalty here. PowerClaim does come automatically with an 80% coinsurance penalty, and then a filing deadline for a supplemental claim of 180 days. You can change those if you'd like. Then you can also choose how you want to set your file numbers. You want to do a 4-digit file, what you want to start it at, and then if you want to change those, you most certainly can. Once you have the information hit here, just hit Save, and that will set your preferences for claims going forward. You can also go back to settings and set your default estimate settings. So if you want to include your tax in your estimates, you would put a check here, set your tax rate. We have a 6% material rate, but no labor or equipment rates, so I'm going to leave those at 0. We can add O&P to our estimate by checking the box. PowerClaim does automatically come with 10 and 10. Does come non-cumulative and with depreciate O&P checked. I'm going to uncheck that because I don't want that. Then you can choose how you want your O&P to charge. You can either add it to each line item. If you do that, you will not see the O&P cost anywhere because it will be added to each type of line item that you put in. If you want your O&P to show in the coverage totals, you would want to check here, and at the end of your claim, you will get a subtotal. Then you'll have a line for overhead and then a line for profit. You can also apply tax to your O&P if you need to do that as well by checking the box. You have some depreciation options as well. So if you want to depreciate tax, you can do that. You can also depreciate labor. And then PowerClaim will come set with a default item depreciation of 10%. You are more than welcome to change that if you like, or you can take it completely out. or you can leave it at 10. And if you have a specific line item that you're adding, say roofing, and you need to do more like 25% depreciation, you can change it on that specific line item. You can also apply waste to the labor rates if you need to by checking the box. You can set your default materials database here. We're in 2021, so I'm going to set that to the 2021 insurance repair. You can also set some other options here. So if you want to include the description, if a specific line item has a description, you can add that to the comments just by checking the box. And then, of course, if you're an admin, you can apply these settings to all of the users. Then you have your regional cost adjustment. So right now, PowerClaim will come with just a 100% across the board. You can select an area if you'd like by clicking select. Put in the zip code that you're looking for. So we'll say 35749. Search that zip code. Okay, Harvest, Alabama. That's what we want. So we're going to click on that. And then we can also click the button that says Set Region Based on Loss Address. What this does, if this is checked, if you have Harvest, Alabama set here and this box is checked, when you create your claim and you put in the insured's information, the zip code that you put in is what the database will look at, and it will override this Harvest, Alabama. So we're going to go ahead and click on that. Then we want to save our settings. Then we come back up and we can set our default report settings. So here you can have your general settings, which was basically your header, and you can check the box to include show company information in the header. So on your reports, this information would come up. Instead of pulling directly from the contact information, you can set these lines to however you want them to say. So if I want to say HRI adjusting company, and then line 2 is the address. So we'll say 404 North 4th Street, Murray, Kentucky, 42071. Let's say I, as the adjuster, would like to show my cell phone number. So I can put that in there. And then at line 5, you maybe want to put your email address. That can be done here as well. Once that information is in there like you want, just hit save. And you will see that it will save that information. Then go to the complete estimate. And you can set your settings for the way that report looks. You can combine, remove, and replace items so that they show on one line. If you'd like for them separate, just leave it unchecked. You can also separate material, labor, and equipment. You can show your claim totals. We would definitely want to do that. And if you have an advanced payment, you can include that as well. Then we also have show area dimensions. When you create a room and you put in, 10 by 10 by 8, it's going to calculate that in square feet for the wall areas, the floor areas. It's going to create a perimeter. Those will show on the report if this is checked. If not, they will not show. You can also set a default estimate disclaimer. So if you have something specific you want to show at the bottom of your reports, you can hit Add New Disclaimer. You're going to enter a name. Say OK. And then you can type up whatever you would like for your disclaimer to say. I'm just going to make something up here. And then you can come down and customize totals. On the report, it will come out maximum recoverable depreciation, your total loss, less deductible applied. Anything that you see in black is how the totals will show on the report. If you'd like to change those to say something specific, instead of the typical wording of PowerClaim, you can type in these boxes to say anything that you would like for them to say. Once you've gotten that settings all the way you want it, just hit save. Then you can just keep going. You can do a cover sheet if you want to have default comments on your cover sheet. This is where you would type that. Again, I'm just going to type something in real quick. And if you want your signature to be on the cover sheet, you would want to click that box as well. And then just hit save. And you can do that for each one of these. So the proof of loss, RC statement, your short form report, or your statement of loss. So let's jump down here for the statement of loss real quick. If you want your co-insurance to show on the statement of loss, you would want to come in and check that box and again save it. Or if you want to add a default footer, you can do that as well. So that's your default report settings. You can just close that when finished. And that is basically the main settings that you would want to create before you start making a lot of claims. So now that we have set that, we're going to go in and we are going to create a new claim. So we hit new claim here. This is going to come up and it is going to show you the file number. I'm at 0409. You can put in your claim number that was assigned from your agency or the adjusting company. So type in your claim number. You can set the status of the claim, whether it's first or first and final, or this is a supplement. You can also create your own. So you can hit a plus here, and it will add anything that you've typed in there permanently to the list if you want it to. You can also assign a CAT number if you have one. And then, of course, loss causes are the same way. You have a whole drop-down list of ones to choose from. But if you would like to set your own, you would just type in there, click the plus, and then tell it to add it to the list. You can also go in and schedule your date for the next report. The date that is assigned will automatically pull whatever is on your computer when you start a new claim. If that's not the date you want, then you can just hit the grid and set your date. Same with all of these. Next to contact it, closed, inspect it, lost date. So you can set any of those that you need to. You can also make comments on the loss. This loss is due to water damage. You can also set the loss address to be the same as the insured here. If it is not the same as the insured, you can uncheck that box and you can fill in the loss address there. Or like I said, if it is the same, you would want to check that. Then you come to your policy information. Again, you see that 80% coinsurance penalty. You can change that there if you need to, and also the supplemental deadline days. You can choose your insured interest, whether it's the owner or the mortgage company. You can type in any changes to the policy. This box looks small, but you can type quite a bit in there. You can set your policy dates for effective. So let's say this policy took effect on May the 3rd. When you set a date, it will automatically set the expired date to 1 year from that date. You can type in your policy number and then choose your type of policy, whether or not it's a homeowners, a dwelling. Got quite a bit of list there to choose from. So we're just going to go with the homeowners basic. Then we come down to our contact information. So you see it, I filled out my preferences, so it automatically set me as the adjuster, and then it set HRI as the adjusting company. You can fill out any of these here that you need to, so just by clicking on them. So if you go to agency, you can fill in that information, and then you can save changes. However, when you're working with different agencies, carriers, or mortgage companies, I would suggest that once you get your information in, you hit the Save to Address book. That way it will automatically be saved. Then you can come in and just hit this Load Contact, and it would show you a list of all the agencies, and you could just pick, and it would automatically fill that in. You can do the same for the carriers, the contractors, mortgage companies. So for our example right now, I'm just going to go ahead and click down to the insured. So I am going to fill out the insured's information, and I'm going to make that short and sweet and let it autofill for me. So I've gotten my information in. Then I can go down to the loss address, see that it's already filled in. Then if I want to go to the mortgage company, I can click mortgagee, and I can start typing in. Um, we all know there are tons of mortgage companies out there today. So you just type in that mortgage company's information, fill out their address and phone, anything there that you want, and then hit the Save to Address book. It's going to ask you to give it a unique name. So you can just type in the same name, or you can give it a shortcut if you'd like. So I'm going to say OK. Then once I came in, I can hit this Load Contact, and every time I've saved one, it would be here, and then I could just hit that, and it would load it for me. Go up and click Save Changes. It's going to show you that your changes have been saved, and then you can just close that button, and your information will autofill here. That is how to set up the claim information. Now we want to go to our estimate. So we're going to click Estimate on the toolbar. From here, you'll be able to see you can add a coverage, you can add areas, you can add your line items. We also have a material search box that is right on the same screen. If you don't want to see those, you can click the little arrows here, and it'll collapse those boxes. So you can have a bigger line item screen if you want, but this one would go away. So first thing you have to do is you do have to start a coverage. So we're going to click Add Coverage. It's going to pop up and ask me what type of coverage I have. I'm just going to hit my drop down and choose a dwelling. You can also, again, add your own here by typing in and then adding the plus. Wants to know what type this is. It is a building, so we're going to leave it at that. I can give it a description if I want. So let's say we'll say 2-story brick home. If there's a reserve on the policy, you would put that there. If you know the value of the property, that's where that would go. Of course, if you have a replacement cost coverage, you would check the box there. Then, of course, set your limit for the policy. So we'll say $354,000. And then if you're going to have another coverage and you want to include that limit in the total amount of insurance, you would check the box here. Then, of course, you would set your deductible. So if it's a normal, a blanket, if you have another coverage as well, you can set it as a blanket, or it has none, or you can share it. However, the shared is grayed out, as you can see, because I have not created another coverage yet. To use shared, you would have to create that secondary coverage first. Then you can choose your deductible amount. So we'll say it's $500. Or you can set it by the percentage of the limit. Once finished here, just hit Save, and it will create your dwelling for you. If you need to go back and edit anything on this, if you need to change the deductible type or the amount, you can just click the button there. It'll bring it right back up. You can change your deductible and then hit Save, and it'll come right back to the screen. You can also delete a coverage by highlighting it and hit Delete. You can copy a coverage if you want it to create another dwelling there. You could do that as well. You can also go into the estimate settings here. If you needed to change anything from your preferences you set, this is where you would change them. So you go in and apply things here. This is also where you would put in your advanced payment. And then once everything is set, just hit Save Settings. Take you right back to the screen. You can also add an EagleView report from here. You can do a XML roof import. We also are integrated with Magic Plan. You can also bring those in as well. You can undo any change or update here. You can also view your report from here. To do EagleView, that's the one I'm going to show you because that's what most people do use. You click on the EagleView. It's going to ask you to log in. Now, I will tell you, you must have an actual account with EagleView in order to log in from here. If you do not have one, you can click here to go to their website and you can create yourself an account. So once you've gotten your username and password for EagleView, you're just going to hit that submit button, and it's going to come up, and it is going to show you all of the ones that you have previously ordered. Okay. If you want to order a new one, you would just hit place new order. It's going to come up. It's going to automatically put in the address that you put in on the insured information. If by chance that's not what you want, then you would type in the location of the roof report you do want. You can choose your product type. They have quite a few you can choose from. And then, of course, you can choose your delivery option. They have express, same day, 3 hour. Then you must check the box here that basically says you're placing an order with EagleView, and EagleView will charge you for that report. Once you've done that, the submit order will come blue. You can click on it. Your order will be submitted, and they will send you an email in the length of time you chose. Once that report is in, you would log back into EagleView, and you would go back to this screen. You would find the report you're looking for, click on it, and then it's going to come up and it's going to ask you, do you want to view the PDF or view an invoice? You can do either one of those, or you can import them. So it's going to ask you what you want to import. You can do the PDF, and they'll take their PDF report and it will put it into your documents. The dimensions will create a roof area, and then, of course, they will email you an invoice if you check there. Once you have everything, got it, just hit import. It's going to come up and tell you that it's important. And now we have our EagleView import. Comes over, shows you that you got a roof, shows your roof areas, the ridge links, the eave links. Everything that you would get in your EagleView report is automatically pulled in for you there. Now you can go down and you can start adding your line items. So you can hit add item. Comes up and shows you the database you're working in. You also have your category, which is roofing. And then you would choose your item. So you come down and say, oh, let's do some asphalt shingles, laminated, scallop slate look. Then you choose your type and grade, so whether or not you want to do the complete system, or you can just do shingles and underlayment only, or you can do shingles only, or you can do just tear out. We're going to go for the complete system. Then in our quantity box, we would choose squares. That's how our shingles come. If you see the unit, we'll always tell you what you're looking for there. We're showing that we're doing O&P. We have tax, and we do not have recoverable depreciation checked. You can also apply a custom non-contractor labor rate if you'd like by checking that box. Then, of course, you have your operations, which are remove and replace. Those are already checked. If you needed to uncheck, if let's say you were not removing the item, you could click there, uncheck the box, and it would take that price out. But we're going to check it back because we're going to do both. I'll also show you the labor, material, equipment rate for each of those, give you the total for each, and the units, and then the trade. It does show your price here per square. If you want to set some waste, you can do that as well. Then you have your RC price. If you want to set, we have automatic depreciation of 10, but you can change that if you'd like. So you could come in and say, no, I want to do 20%, and it'll adjust that price. Or you can do a percent per year. If you do the percent per year, please make sure that you add the age of the house so it would know what the depreciation needed to be. Or you can do a flat dollar amount. So in depreciation, you could just go in and say, I want to take $500 off of there. Once you've got that done, just hit save. And now you're ready to create another line item if you want. So you can come up here and say, let's put in some put in some ice and water shield. So the ice and water shield is in square feet. However, we don't normally do the whole entire roof area. So let's say we're only going to do half or even a quarter. So we would just type in the square footage that we want. Right now we're setting at 3207. So let's just say we're going to do 1,200 square feet of that. And then it will calculate that price based on it. Again, goes right back to your 10% depreciation. So if you need to change that again, you will need to do so. Every time you create a new line item, the depreciation will go back to whatever the default was. Just click Save there. Once you have everything in for that particular area, you can see what all you've done by the activity log here. Once everything is finished, you just close this box. Then you're going to come up and you're going to see that you have your roofing for your shingles and for your ice and water. Show you the type and grade you're using, the operations that you have, the units, and then of course your O&P, your tax, your recoverable depreciation, if you had it, would be checked. Shows you the main cost, the RC, your depreciation, your actual cash value. You can also edit this line item if you needed to go back in and change something. You can click the edit on here with the pencil, and you can go right back into that line item. And you can change, instead of say 1,200 square feet, we want to just do 1,000 square feet. You would just save and then close the box. And then it'll come up and adjust that based on the 1,000 square feet. If you need to delete an item, you can do that here. You can also do a batch edit. So if you have wanted to change the depreciation on both of these, you can hit batch edit. And you can select edit the O&P tax or recoverable depreciation. Of course, it will tell you if you mess up. So I want to click both of those, batch edit, and say edit O&P. Here you can either add recoverable depreciation or you can take off the overhead profit or tax. Once you have those set, just hit save. Then we're going to go back into batch edit again because we can also edit the depreciation. So instead of the one being 25% and the other one being 10%, let's just say we want to do 15% across the whole board. Type in our amount, hit save, and it'll automatically adjust those to the depreciation of 15%. Basically, it gives you your totals for the area. However, if you notice, up here it still says 0. This red line will always tell you when you have modified a line item or anything in the estimate. So if you see this, it's not going to give you totals until you actually click there to recalculate. Now you see those amounts showing up there for the Eagle View. You can also, on the screen, if you want to see your claims totals, you can do that too by clicking claims totals. You'll see your recoverable depreciation, your total loss, any deductible that was applied or less participation, or the claim totals and the actual cash value. Now, we did not set a deductible on the Eagle View report, so that is why you're not seeing a deductible even though we set one on the dwelling, because we actually have not created anything in the dwelling at this particular time. So let's go ahead and edit this Eagle View report. So now I want to say this just has a blanket deductible. So we can come in and we're going to set our deductible to the amount, hit save. Again, you change some information as far as pricing goes. So you would have to click there to recalculate again. Then you go to your claims totals. Now your deductible is showing. Okay. Now you can also look at coverage totals here. So it's going to show you your subtotal, your overhead, your profit, anything that you had set would show up on the screen. Then if we want to say we're finished with our Eagle View, we want to go back to our main dwelling, and we want to start working on the house. So we can create a new area here, and you can choose or enter your area description. You can type in there if you want something specific that is not in our list. But for our example, I'm just going to hit a bedroom 1 for now. You're going to automatically sets it to a room. Then, of course, you have your lost cause that you can set there if it's different. You can also type in that box as well if you'd like. Or you can leave that blank since you set a lost cause on the claim setup screen. PowerClaim always starts with the room standard. If you'd like to remove that dimension, you can make sure it's highlighted and just hit remove dimension there. You can hit a room vaulted or cathedral. You can add openings, closets, offsets. So on your room standard, you would just basically type in the width of the room. So let's say it is 15 by 18 with a wall height of 8. And PowerClaim will calculate everything for you. So you see your floor area, your wall area, ceiling area, floor perimeter, and ceiling perimeter. Now we need to go in and say we want to add some windows. So we're going to click this opening. Say the window is 3 foot by 5 foot. It does not go to the floor and it does not go to the ceiling. And let's say we have 2 of these here. So now it recalculated my totals for me here. Now we want to add a door. So we're going to go back up and we're going to click opening again and say our door is 6.8 inches. Whoops, not width, I'm sorry. Say it's 36 inches wide, and then say it's 6.8 inches tall. It does go to the floor, and we have 1 of those. Again, it has recalculated all of my figures for me, so it knows if you want to put in drywall, how much drywall you need. Here we have our listings of what we put, and as we see, there's room standard, opening, opening. You can hit the pencil here and change the name of these. So if I want to say this is the windows, and then update that, and then I can come do this one and say this is a door. We're going to update that, and then let's just say this is bedroom 1. Once you have finished here, you would just basically hit save, and it's going to give you 2 options. You can save and return, which will take you back to the screen behind you, or you can just save and add another area, so an automatic box would pop up. So let's just hit save and add another area. So we see we have our box again. So let's say this time we want to do a bathroom. Again, it's a room. Again, you can set the lost cause if you want. It does show your activity log and shows you've already created 1 area called the bedroom. So for our bathroom, we're going to say, it's 8 by 9 by 8. Again, it's going to calculate all of your dimensions for you. And then once that room is finished, again, just save. And if you are completely done, you can hit save and return. It's going to come in and it's going to add both your bedroom and your bath. Whichever one is highlighted would be the room that you are working in at the time. So please pay attention when you're putting in line items that you're in the correct room. So I'm going to start with my bedroom. I can come down here and I can click add item again. And we're going to say we want some drywall, and we're going to do some 3/8, and we're going to do with light texture, and then we're going to do the wall area. Again, it's going to come and custom or take that wall area for the price, give your RC, show your depreciation, and then your actual cash value. It does give you a description of what all is included in that. You can also here, if you want to go ahead and prime and paint this drywall, you can activate these by clicking prime, putting a check in there, clicking paint 3 coats, putting a check in there, and that price will go up and then go calculate on the wall area again. So we're going to save that. And then let's say we want to put in some flooring. So we can go back up and change our category to flooring. Choose the type of flooring that we want to put in. For example, we'll just use carpet, and we'll use a deluxe grade. We're going to do the floor area. Again, it does show me the remove and replace is already checked. It gives me my price, RC, depreciation, actual cash value. I'm going to hit save again. Then I'm going to come up and we're going to add the carpet pad. We choose the type we have. Again, it's the floor area. Again, we get our information. We hit save. So we have all of our items in there that we want. We just close the box. It gives you your items here. Hit click here and calculate the totals again. Now it's going to give you your subtotals for that bedroom. Now, we have macros in PowerClaim, which are time saving. you can basically create a group of items that you use a lot and save them and then add them to any claim across the board. So if we want to take all three of these items and we want to create a macro with those, we're going to click the check, click them all, and then we're going to hit Save Macro. It's going to come up and ask you for a macro name, and I'm just going to call this Flooring 2. We say OK, and it's going to create that macro for us. Once that macro is there, again, it is always there. So if we want to go into the bathroom, and let's say we want to take that particular macro, we can hit Insert Macro. We can see the Flooring 2, or any other macros that you created would be in this list, and you can just choose from them. So actually, I think I will hit this drywall flooring that I created the other day. I'm going to highlight it, and I'm going to click Insert. And it is going to come up and put in all the information for that macro based on the calculations of this bathroom. Again, we need to recalculate our figures. So we're going to click here. It's going to come up then and show you your totals. Now, if you go to claim totals, you'll see the totals for everything. Now I have some recoverable depreciation because of this particular macro I put in. I had some depreciation on that. We do have our total loss, less deductible applied, and totals, cash values. So that is how you create areas and create coverages and add line items. Once you're finished there, you can keep going. So the next thing I want to show you guys is the documents. So we had them pull in the EagleView document to our documents. This is the information that would come over on the EagleView. So you'll see everything here that they sent in their report. That will automatically come out on your report if you choose the documents as part of your report package. You can also add a document here. So you can click Add. You're going to go and find the item that you want. So you can hit Upload. And it's basically going to ask you where do you want to look. So you can come in and go anywhere on your computer that you need to. I'm not sure even what I have here. So let's just pick this caregiver and say Open. It's going to come up and show you that you have this PDF. If the light is green, it's ready to save. If the light here is still yellow, it means it's still uploading the file. Once it turns green, just hit Save Selected, and it's automatically going to put that information in that for that document. Now, you can edit information for these. So if I want to click on this one and hit Edit Info, I can come up and I can change my description. I can change the document ID. I can also change the date. I can set any kind of comments here that I would like. And I can also make sure that it is set to print on the document sheet when I do my main report. Once your documents are in, you can just click over to Photos if you'd like to add those. It basically works the same way as the Documents folder. So you're going to hit Add Photo, hit Select. You're going to come up and you're going to find where your information is for your pictures. So I'm going to open that up, and let's say I want to grab some photos here, and I'm not going to grab them all because I don't want it to take forever for it to load since we're kind of doing it across the internet here. So you just basically can hold down your Shift key and you can click the first one that you want, and then click the last one that you want. Or if you want to do them individually, you can click the first one, hold your Control, and just pick certain pictures. Once you have them all chosen, you're just going to hit Open. And as you can see, they're yellow. And as they start uploading, they will turn green. Once they are all green, then you can hit the Save Selected Photos button. And it will bring your photos in. So we have all of our photos here in our list. Shows you the date we put them in, which will be the date on your computer. You can also edit these pictures. You can delete these pictures, whatever you would like to do. You can edit the information on each photo, just highlight it. Again, you can give it a description. and make any comments that you want. And then once you've made that, just hit the save photo, and that information will show up. As you see now, we have a description. You can also edit the actual photo. So if we click edit photo, it's going to open up and it's going to show me the photo here. I want to crop it. I can do that just by hitting the crop tool. You can change the size, the width, and then hit crop. You can also resize the photo. You can zoom in or out. You can rotate the image. So let's say I want to rotate it 90 degrees to the right, and then it would be upright. You can also insert an image on top. You can place text on the top. You can flip a photo. You can set the brightness or contrast, and you can draw. So if I click my down arrow here, I can draw a rectangle, a circle, a line, or I can do the pencil and freeform. So I can set the color I want to draw with and also my line size. Then I would come over here and I would just draw wherever I want it to on the picture. Once you've made your changes, you just hit save changes. It's going to tell you the image has been updated. Then you can return back to the main photo screen, and you can do that with each image as you go. Once you have all your photos uploaded, you would basically just follow the path. If you need to make a diagram or diary or an invoice, you can do that as well. You can also go over to forms and click your short form report. You can come in and choose, of course, your structure type. So we're going to do a dwelling. We can set our occupancy as the primary residence. If we need to type anything here for the origins, subrogation, salvage, any exclusions or limitations, we can do those as well. We can set this to show the recommended payment if they had a recoverable depreciation policy or a replacement cost policy. You would want to check that recommended payment. And then if you want to make any remarks on the short form or make a narrative, you can do that here. You can also check what you've included. So we're going to have estimates. We're going to have a photo sheet. We're going to have, let's see, what else do we have? Let's say we have a statement of loss. We've got supporting documents. And if you had more, you could continue to type those in there. Once you've got all of that for the short form filled out, again, you would just hit save. It's going to show you that your changes have been saved and say OK. And then you can come and either return back to the screen you were at before, which is your photos, or you can click on reports from the toolbar, and that will take you into the report screen. Here you see a list of available reports. You've got different things here. You got your claim recaps, contractor estimate, complete estimate, statements of loss, trade summaries. So all you have to do when you decide you want to set your reports, you would just basically come in and take the first report that you want. Say I want the cover sheet. I also have a documents report. I can choose my photo sheet, which I can put either 2 pics on a page or 4 pics on a page. So I'm going to click 4 pics. Say I want proof of loss and a statement of loss, my complete estimate, and my short form report. So now that I have all of these over here, I didn't particularly pick them in the order that I would like for them to show up on the report. So I can change any of these I want. My cover sheet is great. I want that at the top, but I'd like to have my short form second. So I can just highlight it and move it up the list. I want to take my complete estimate next. So I want to move it up the list. Then I want my proof of loss up there as well. Then my statement of loss, and then my photo sheet next. So now that my reports are in the order that I want them, I can look over here and see what my report settings are. And we set those in the defaults, but if something changed for this particular claim, you can set those here if need be. So it's going to show you your report date, which is whatever date is on your computer. It'll also show you the company information in the header because we checked that. It's It's going to show our claims totals on the complete estimate. If we had an advance payment, we can check that and it would show. It's going to show our area dimensions. It's going to combine, remove, and replace into one line item. We're going to show our totals. Let's go ahead and show our totals for each area in the estimate. You can also separate material, labor, and equipment for each particular line item. You can include a cover sheet signature. And then, of course, we've got always show coinsurance on a statement of loss. And if you have a proof of loss and you need a notary, you can click that box there and the notary will show up on the proof of loss. Any of these that you do not want, you would want to make sure that you uncheck those boxes. I also set a disclaimer on my preferences. So I've got the testing purposes disclaimer showing there. That's the one I want. Shows my cover sheet comments. And then if I had used the additional payment agreement form and I needed to type something on there, I could have done that here as well. So once everything is set like you want it, you know your reports are in the order that you need, you would just go up and you can actually view your selected reports. I think that's very important for you to take a look just to make sure you didn't miss anything before you email them. So we're going to hit View Save Selected Reports, and it's going to create a PDF for us. And then we can come and look. So we have basically our cover sheet with our information on there, our signature, our header, our logo. As you can see, it does not have a to because I did not fill out a carrier. That's who the cover sheet report goes to. It does show our comments that we had typed in. We give our short form report with all of our information here, limits, our deductibles, any reserve that we have. We have our risks, so our dwelling that's primary residence. Shows us our two coverages that we have with the RC, any recoverable depreciation, any non-recoverable, then our actual cash value. Shows our maximum depreciation, total loss, the deductible, gives us a recommended payment, and then shows our payment that they would receive after completion of the repairs, which is the recoverable depreciation. Shows what enclosures we have. So we have our estimates, photos, we have a statement of loss, and then we have supporting documents. Our narrative that we typed up is here. Then we come to our complete estimate. Again, we have our file number, policy numbers, our insurance information, the loss address, what we're dealing with, and our limit. Shows us our bedroom one, and it shows all of our dimensions and our areas here. Shows us what items that we are removing, replacing, gives us our quantity, our units, the cost per unit, any tax that we have, our RC, our depreciation, and our actual cash value. Then it breaks those down, shows us the subtotal overhead, profit, and tax for each area because that's how we chose to choose to show on the report. Then, of course, our bath does the same thing. And then it gives us, of course, our totals for this dwelling. Then the Eagle View will do the exact same thing and give us the totals for it. And then, of course, we reach our main totals here at the bottom. It does show our default estimate disclaimer that we had. Then, of course, we have our sworn statement and proof of loss, which automatically pulls information there. Also shows you the place that we put our notary in. Then we have our statement of loss, which we had show the coinsurance penalty on. So that is showing there. Gives us our actual cash values for both areas. And then, of course, our actual total for the whole claim. We next come to our photo sheet. So as you can see, you do have your photo IDs, the date of your picture, any descriptions that you made, and comments that you made. Then, of course, you have your pictures on your page. Then we come to our documents. So we do have the Eagle View document that we pulled in with the dimensions of the roof and the pictures and all the measurements. Then, of course, we have just our supporting document that we pulled in as well. Once your reports do look okay, you can do one of two things. You can just attach this report to an email if you'd like, or you can go back into PowerClaim and click the email selected reports and then send them on to the recipient. I hope that this training has been helpful. If there are any questions, concerns, or you just need to know a little bit more, feel free to call our support line. Our number is 1-800-736-1246, and you can hit extension 2. Again, that number is 1-800-736-1246, extension 2. You may also email support, SUPPORT, at PowerClaim.com. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I hope that you learned something. And if you'd like some further training or further information about PowerClaim Estimator, please give us a call. Thank you.